Our next session, an interactive workshop on human-centered design in building insurance products, moderated by Prab Simran Kaur, founder of Left Brain and Design. This session will bring together a brilliant panel of thinkers and creators. I'm very excited to tell you that they'll be using certain techniques like mind maps, brainstorm clouds, and real-world tools to design products that truly resonate with policyholders. Let's get ready to get creative, deep dive into customer-centric innovation. You'll see some things on your tables that will be used for this workshop. I must tell you, last year, the most interesting and appreciated segment of IA event was the workshop, so you can't miss this one. Welcoming on the stage our amazing panel and group for this workshop who will be running this. Anurag Rastogi, advisor, mentor, and independent director. Anu Chaudhary Ghosh, head marketing, Sud Life. Vikas Garg, appointed actuary, Universal Sompo. Please welcome them with a huge round of applause. Adnan Bhatt, partnerships, digital business, Munich Re. Colin Fernandez, innovation lead, Max Life Insurance. Anjani Chaudhary, product actuary, Credit Access Life Insurance. Saurabh Mishra, NatCat expert. Ruchir Kanakia, founder of OneAssure. Tejas Jain, founder, Bima Kavach. Mrinal Sinha, CEO and co-founder, Vitraya Technologies. Avdesh Sharma, president, India, Vitraya Technologies. Anurag Prasad, co-founder, Visit Health. Vaibhav Singh, co-founder, Visit Health. And Michelle Chopra, founder and CEO, Mayfair VCare. What an amazing group. I'll request you all to be here on the stage, please. And over to Prab Simran, who will take it over from here.
I'm just going to request all of you to, take your tables. We have themes written on every table, which are essentially insurance products. All right. So I'm going to request everybody to, whoever's participating in the workshop, to come forward because this is an interactive session and we are going to be looking at designing new ideas for various insurance products. So I'd also request all the people who are helping me with this workshop to pick up the topics so that people can pick their tables. All right, whoever is participating in this workshop, if you could just move forward. All the material is laid out here. Please pick your tables. And I'd request everybody to hold up the topics, whichever table that they are taking care of. Okay, with a show of hands, who all are participating in this session? Like a little higher so I can also see. All right, I'd request you to please move forward. Yes, okay, you found a table. And what is the theme? Okay, that's a table there. Okay, MSME shop insurance. What's the theme at the back? Okay, great, great. Is it okay with you if you move to a table ahead? And there's no one in pension products. Is anyone interested in doing pension products today? Term insurance. No takers for term insurance and no takers for group health. That's okay, and pension products. Okay, great, great. Can I request you to just move forward? Yeah, there's a table vacant right here. So if your team can just move forward, please. I think we have enough people to occupy just the front row. So if everyone who's participating can move forward, that will really help us. Thank you. All right. I think we have our groups ready. Before we start this session, a round of applause for all of you who are staying back for this session, the last session of the day. Thank you. All right. With a quick show of hands, how many of us are familiar with the term human-centered design or design thinking? Okay, and therefore the motivation to be here. Great. Thank you. All right. Let's get started. Um, My name is Prab Simran. You can call me Simran. I have been in the space of design thinking slash human-centered design for the last 14 years. I run my own consultancy in this space, and I enjoy, looking at business growth through a human-centered perspective. The rest you can read at leisure later on. So what is design thinking really? Design thinking is looking at people in any organization, in any business, looking at business problems from a people's perspective. Um, it's not as simple as it sounds. Today, we're here to generate ideas on various insurance products, the products that you've picked. We will look into a few principles of design thinking and see how we can apply those. There'll be two exercises. One is the empathy map to warm up to the customer. How do we start to look at things from a customer's perspective? And the second is going to be a brainstorm where we will actually get down to looking at new ideas. So when you walk away this evening, you will hopefully have something exciting to talk about at work tomorrow. Okay. I'm going to, and so is the rest of the team, we're going to keep prompting you to take and be in the shoes of the customer. That's what we're here to do. Empathizing is one such tool. So keep that word in mind. You have heard of it in many a conversation and many a context, but today we're going to empathize with our customer. And to empathize, you need to be in someone's shoes, right? Look at things from their perspective. And how are we going to do that? There's something called the empathy map on all your tables. I'd request the team to give everybody one such sheet. It looks like this. We're going to be using the blank side of the sheet. Don't start reading the text at the back just yet. Let me tell you how we're going to use this. All right. I hope everyone has a sheet in front of them. Let's look at the top part. Not the most exciting, but very important. This is called setting the context. What we're going to do is every individual is going to write their product on the top right corner of the sheet. And then think of a customer they want to look at today. And everyone's customer can be different on the table. You don't have to discuss this. This is an individual exercise. Put down the gender, age, and socio-economic background of this customer that you have in mind. It can be anyone, any age, any professional background, any educational qualification. Just pick a customer you're going to think about today. Yeah. Can I ask a volunteer to please pass a mic to this table over here?
Yeah, I have a question. So
Yeah.
this is group health, where employer, employee, right?
Yes.
So usually corporate policy, it is companies are buying. So this gender and age is like, do you want us to give a range, like, male, female, and then average age of an employee? Should we assume some numbers? Because it's a group product, right?
Right, it is a group product. Let's look at the decision maker as the customer. So you would be selling your insurance to a particular person in a particular company. Let's talk about that person. So is it someone at the level of a CEO or a founder who's going to be purchasing it, and what's his age, what's his background,
Okay.
so specific to that.
Okay. Fine. So I can write an assumption and I can go ahead.
Yes, it is absolutely an
you.
assumption. Everyone's customer can be very
Okay.
different.
Thank you.
Okay, I hope we've all written down a customer. Are we good to go? Okay. All right, we're just going to wait for everyone to settle down. Okay, now let's get down to the empathy map. Keep the person in mind that you have thought of now. And let's look at the box that says need. When does this person require this insurance product? Where does the need arise from? It can be various points, right? Think of it as filling up bullet points over here. They don't have to be long sentences or a scenario. Let's think of various ways that this person thinks, okay, I need this product today. Remember to be in the customer's shoes. Remember to empathize with this person. You are not a person in the insurance business right now, you are the customer. So look at things from their perspective. So the sheet at the back, where you see all the text, has some prompts for every section. Use it, read it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any one of us. If you fall short of space, grab another sheet. It can be many sheets that you use up, so don't feel constrained by the paper that you have in front of you. I'm sure you are. All right. Some of you seem to be progressing pretty well. So yes, please feel free to go on to the seeing, hearing, thinking, motivations, and aspirations. I would suggest going from need to thinking, because after seeing the need, what do they process? What do they think? What is in the mind of a customer? And a lot of what they're thinking can also be triggered by what they're seeing and hearing around them about. It could just be insurance in general, right? Because you are you're a team of highly specialized people in insurance. The way you look at insurance and the way a customer looks at insurance could be very, very different. It could be that they perceive insurance as a big, broad topic, which is, say, related to health insurance, and all they know is, hey, claims is so difficult. So you pay all this money to an insurer, and claiming that money back is difficult. But then there are so many nuanced products which are so relevant in their own context and time. Their thinking and seeing and hearing could actually be coming from just bad experiences or very good experiences, right? So what is it that they're seeing and hearing around them? Think of seeing and hearing as social proof that, hey, my uncle was admitted in this hospital and his insurance company was really good. It was a smooth claims process, and he was able to recover as well. It could be the exact opposite of that also. That could be coloring the perception of the customer. So what's happening with your specific customer? Let's put that down. So, the next exercise that we're going to do is use all these insights that you've got and convert them into ideas for the product. We're going to do something called a brainstorm. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this term called a brainstorm, right? We're going to just rapidly generate a lot of ideas. But where are these ideas going to come from? All those things that you've written down right now on your empathy map, we're going to convert them into opportunity areas for a new product, a new feature, a new way of communication, a new way of pricing, a new way of claims, based on whatever you have got. Just a few things to keep in mind when you're doing a brainstorm, and I'd request everyone to look at the screen over here. Remember to have some openness of thought. That's how ideas are generated. Get a fresh perspective, so listen to your neighbor. Also, we'll be doing this in pairs now. So yes, you may all have different customers written down, that's okay. But ideas are ideas. Share your perspectives. Talk about the customer you were talking about, the persona that you had put, the context you had put on top, and say that in this context, this is a relevant solution. It'll be very important to suspend judgment. So nothing is right or wrong. Don't try and tell your neighbor, hey, this is incorrect. Let the ideas flow. You will be surprised at when you pause and listen to the other person, how creative you can be, right? So let's practice pausing today and listening to the neighbor. Yeah, and enjoy co-creation. Design thinking does a lot of work on co-creation, because when you're looking at the human perspective, your judgment can get colored by your own perspective as well, your own worldviews. But when you share and listen, co-creation brings a whole other richness to the ideas that you're coming up with. So let's get started. So put down on the center of those big chart papers that you have. If there are too many people in one, yeah, those are the chart papers. In case, yeah, so you can split up into teams of 2 on the same table as well now, so you can brainstorm easily. So put down the theme, the product that you're talking about in the center of the paper. Look at your empathy map and start to map out all the insights that you got into ideas. All right.
So we had one common theme that
Yeah.
we have senior citizens in various forms for the retail OPD.
Okay.
So so quite obviously that is a big requirement about chronic ailment, health expenses,
Right.
right? So from that, the idea that came is that we have to not have any pre-existing exclusions and no age bar in the product.
Okay.
So that is how.
Nice. Well done. Thank you, and thanks for sharing. Okay, who's next? Okay, we need a mic here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, I would start with the need. Actually, we had three different profiles, but then basically it was fire insurance, and he had a profile of director. I had a profile of middle class who's a proprietor, and he's the owner of a factory. So there's a need for fire insurance.
All right.
So the apprehensions or the need from where it came was, what about company reputation? This is a collation of everybody.
Okay.
Then financial stress. Then providing services to third party and other stakeholders. Then COVID-19, where, it became a
Right.
VUCA kind of uncertainty.
Right.
It was volatile and uncertain, ambiguous and complex. then there could be suicides because there have been cases
Right.
where things have led to a total loss,
Right.
and they could never ever come out with the construction again.
Right.
Then there was also death and psychological losses, which is more kind of serious, and where we don't actually think about it.
Fantastic.
Because physical losses, like if you lose money, you can always come out of it. If you lose your property, you can always rebuild.
Right.
But when you lose some lives, and the psychological effect will never ever be put you back
Right.
into the same space.
Wow.
And there are goods held in trust. Suppose there are people who are reposing faith in you, and they have put their goods in your factory, and you're not able to later reimburse them. So it's a great third party liability, so which is very very weighing on the mind. Then there is a banker who insists that a loan will only be given if insurance is there. So that is also a loan.
Right.
Also is this.
Right.
And there is a fire arising out of explosion in the neighborhood. So this is a great need. So he sees that and he watches the news and he says,
Right.
yeah, it could happen to me. So where will I go? So these are the needs. So, capping and, collating all this data, we felt that the basic apprehensions were the terminology, because as as a head of legal, I know there are a lot of consumer cases only around property insurance, maximum,
Right.
because it's very complicated to understand, and there are terms like salvage, under insurance, depreciation, and even in reinstatement value policies, there are 2-3, like you have a standard fire perils policy, then there is a reinstatement policy. So to understand reinstatement and how your sum insured should not reflect the current day replacement value, but at a future time, that is after 1 year also, on the 365th day, there
Right.
could be a fire.
Right.
And if I'm not going to imagine that sum insured on that day,
Yeah.
then I'm still at under insurance.
Right.
So all these things, will have to be explained to the
All
consumer.
these use cases that you spoke
all
about.
the cases.
Fantastic.
Because so the main thing is the greatest impediment is the terminology. So a simple language
Right.
policy,
Right.
where a layman can understand,
Right.
where all the needs are there. See, even a person in remote village will require a policy if he is a proprietor of a factory or in any circumstance. But if the simplification of wording will be the starting point, if he doesn't understand the policy, how will he understand the need? So that is one thing.
Right.
So,
A
so we are
fantastic work. I mean, what a lot of rich ideas your group's got. Did you also realize that while you were listing out all these ideas, you seem to have really gone very deep into the customer's shoes, right?
Yeah,
And as a
that's
person in legal yourself,
Yeah.
to know that there are so many things playing on the mind of a customer,
Yes, yes.
and what the complicated terms of a policy can do to them. That's
Yeah.
actually a deterrent then to purchase.
Exactly.
Whereas you, I think, have done a fantastic job of kind of empathizing, getting into their shoes, looking at things from their
Yeah, yeah.
perspective. So
Thank you.
well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think that bell means our session is over. Yeah, okay. All right, if anyone has one last experience to share. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I think we have time for just that one last volunteer. Or they need something clarified. Yes, go ahead.
So we were working on the term life product,
Okay.
and we came up with a few different personas, but across our team there were a few different thoughts around what are the insights
Can you put the
we're
music
playing
down,
on.
please? Thank you. Yeah.
The major insights were, one, people are looking to take care of various needs when they're buying term life. For example, their child's education, their spouse's lifestyle, their parents' health, or sometimes even their own health before they, maybe have an adverse event, because some people might be suffering from a critical illness. And sometimes people want to also take care of things after they're gone, which are more logistical, but your family has to deal with things like that. Of course, there were those are a couple of insights. Pricing is always of concern. They want assurance when they're buying something. They want
Right.
to trust people. So around those insights, we came up with many different ideas.
Let's hear one.
Yeah. So we'll talk about product. So for example, the product could cover your different categories, like your children's education is allocated X amount, your parents are allotted Y amount, your spouse's lifestyle was offered a certain amount. You can have coverage to help your spouse upskill themselves, find the job so that makes them self-sustainable if you're the only breadwinner. It can help take care of your post-death needs by connecting you to a certain service. I think I mentioned probably 5, but you asked for one.
Fantastic. Very, very interesting. I really hope that you have experienced a shift in perspective in the last 70 minutes of empathizing. Thank you. Of looking at things from a customer's perspective. Also, just listening to the ideas on your table and the richness that discussions bring, right? So I hope you're going back with something new tonight. And thank you, everyone. Thank you to the team for giving it all your time and extra hours before this session began. Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you, everyone.
A big round of applause for Prabh, Simran and team.